Hey there, third graders. It is Miss Olvera, and I am back with more about conjunctions. Today, we are going to talk about punctuating sentences when they have a conjunction. Okay, so real quick, let's review. A conjunction is a part of speech that joins words, phrases, or clauses. And we're specifically focusing on when they join clauses this week. When they join clauses, okay? So, the first kind of conjunction we talked about this week was a coordinating conjunction. All right, and there are 7 of them. Okay, and there they are. We use the mnemonic device fanboys to help us remember them. For and nor, but, or, yet, and so. And those are our 7 coordinating conjunctions. And we use those to join things of equal importance. Okay. So, when we construct a sentence that joins 2 clauses with a coordinating conjunction, we are forming a compound sentence. All right? So, let's look at these compound sentences here. Abby was tired, yet she wasn't able to fall asleep. Been there, done that. Kevin is older, but Meg is taller. The child began to cry, for she had lost sight of her mother. And if you notice in each sentence, I went ahead and underlined the independent clauses, right? So, did you notice anything special about the sentences where the clauses were joined? Take a minute and look. Do you see anything? Hopefully, you noticed those guys. Hopefully, you noticed those commas. Okay? A comma is placed before the conjunction when we are joining 2 independent clauses. Okay? For third grade, that's going to be our rule. We're always going to use a comma before the conjunction when we are joining 2 independent clauses. Okay? So, let's look at some examples. So I have 2 independent clauses here. Sam ran as fast as he could. Sam didn't win the race. So, how could I join them? Sam ran as fast as he could, but he didn't win the race. And look what I put there. I've got my comma. All right, I could also use the conjunction yet here if we're trying to try some new ones out. So it might say Sam ran as fast as he could, yet he didn't win the race. So that would also work. Here's another one. Sarah arrived early. Sarah read a book. So I have 2 independent clauses and I'm going to join them. How would you join them? Well, here's what I did. Sarah arrived early, so she read a book. And what do I need to put there? Yep, my comma. There it is. Good job. Here's another one. Preston didn't eat. Preston wasn't feeling well. 2 independent clauses. How would you join them? Preston didn't eat for he wasn't feeling well. Again, that's one of those that we don't use very often in third grade, but if I wanted to start trying it out, I want to make sure that I have that comma. All right. So now let's talk about subordinating conjunctions. We talked about these yesterday. Subordinating conjunctions join a dependent clause and an independent clause. And remember, these guys need a buddy. The dependent clause needs a buddy. Okay. And these are just a list of a few of the subordinating conjunctions. There are tons and tons and tons of them. But here are some of them. After, although, as if, as long as much as soon as though, because, before, even if, even though, if, in order, since, so that, than, that, though, unless, until, when, whenever, where, wherever, whether, and while. And if you'll notice, boys and girls, what kind of order are those in? I hope you said they're in alphabetical order. They are. Okay, so when we construct a sentence that joins an independent clause and a dependent clause, we are forming a complex sentence. Complex sentence, all right? So remember, we have our trick to help us remember the difference between an independent clause and a dependent clause. So an independent clause can stand by itself. It doesn't need any help. And a dependent clause is a sentence that cannot stand by itself. It depends on the independent clause to help it be part of the complete sentence. It needs a buddy to help it make complete sense. All right, so let's look at these sentences that have a subordinating conjunction at the beginning of them, at the beginning. And the subordinating conjunction is underlined in each sentence. So the first sentence says, after the movie was over, we went to Dairy Queen. As soon as we finish painting, I need to clean the brushes. If I don't clean my room, I'll be in big trouble with my mom. So I want you to take a minute and see if you notice anything about punctuation in these sentences that begin with a subordinating conjunction. What do you notice? Hopefully, you saw that each one of them has a comma at the end of the dependent clause. Okay, so where that independent sentence, that independent clause starts, where that simple sentence starts, we have a comma right before that. All right, so when a sentence begins with a subordinating conjunction, a comma is placed at the end of the dependent clause. Okay, that lets us know that we're finished, and then here is our independent clause after that. Okay, but let's look at these. Okay, these sentences have the independent clause at the beginning. And in this case, I have underlined the independent clause. So let's look at these sentences. I am going to tell the teacher unless you apologize right now. You need to finish your homework while I am cooking supper. Okay, do you notice anything about these sentences? Do you see any special punctuation in them? No, right? So when a sentence begins with an independent clause, no comma is placed between the clauses. We just write them and put them together, okay? Because that dependent clause is at the end and it's explaining what has already happened. I'm going to tell the teacher unless you apologize. So we already have that independent. Our buddy's there to start us off, okay? All right. Let's look at some examples. Okay, now here is the tricky thing about subordinating conjunctions. You can start with two independent clauses, but when you add that subordinating conjunction to one of the independent clauses, it now becomes a dependent clause. So that's what makes subordinating conjunctions a little confusing. So I have two independent clauses and I have put them together using a subordinating conjunction. So I could say, wash your hands before you start making cookies. Or I could say, before you start making cookies, comma, wash your hands. Either one of those is an acceptable way. Okay. Now remember that before you start making cookies needs a buddy. I need to know, what do I need to do before I start making cookies? All right. I have to have a buddy that explains the rest of, or explains what's going on. So here I have two more sentences, two independent clauses that I put a subordinating conjunction in front of one of them. So if we order the pizza now, it should be delivered by 6 o'clock. Okay. And I have a comma right there. If we order the pizza now, comma, because that's my dependent clause, it should be delivered by 6 o'clock. Or I could say, the pizza should be delivered by 6 o'clock if we order it now. Either one of those is okay. Okay? While you are waiting, comma, you may use the iPad. While you are waiting is my dependent clause. It doesn't make sense by itself. It needs a buddy. So what am I doing while I'm waiting? Oh, I'm going to use the iPad. While you are waiting, you may use the iPad. Or I can switch it around and say, you may use the iPad while you are waiting. All right, here's another one. I twisted my ankle because someone left a ball on the step. Because someone left a ball on the step, comma, I twisted my ankle. All right, so we can join them that way. That because someone left a ball on the step, that is my dependent clause. Now, are there any other ways to correctly combine these sentences? What do you think? I twisted my ankle when someone left a ball on the step. Would that make sense? Yes. When someone left a ball on the step, comma, I twisted my ankle. That could work. All right, so here's a couple of reminders about subordinating conjunctions. When a sentence begins with a subordinating conjunction, a comma is placed at the end of the dependent clause. So, after working in the garden, Miss Olvera washes her hands. But it's a little different when the sentence begins with an independent clause. When the sentence begins with an independent clause, no comma is placed between the clauses. So, Miss Wallach watches Netflix at night since her children are asleep. All right, guys, I hope that this helps a little bit with understanding how punctuating these sentences with conjunctions, how it works. We are going to have a quick review tomorrow, and then you are going to have an assignment. I will see you guys later.